Hello YouTube. Uh, Plain old Chuck here. I was going to try to get back into this video making things. I had a hard time finding my cameras, and when I did find them I couldn't remember how to use them. So I'm not sure how the uploading will go, but we're gonna give it another shot anyhow. I kind of miss it. I miss the friendships and stuff on here, but I really don't miss the filming so much. I've really enjoyed it when I was doing it, and then I just kind of got stuck in a rut and with the cooking videos and such. So I thought I'd start out with a cooking video. Thought it makes sense to me. So I thought I'd start out with a Cast Iron Wednesday. And what better way to show off my culinary skills than with something I've never done before and never tasted before and don't know if it'll work or not. But that sounded like a pretty good test to me. So what I'm going to try to do today is make a steak and gravy with drop biscuits in it. Never tried it before, never had it before, but it seemed like a good deal. I did see a video on it a long time ago, and it kind of intrigued me. So I went down and thawed out a couple steaks, and I'm going to cut them up and saute them in some onions and make some gravy and stuff, then put some drop biscuits on it, not on it, well, on it and in it, and stick it in the oven for a while and see how she turns out. And it said this was going to be a biscuits and gravy. It didn't say what kind of gravy or what kind of biscuits, so we'll give this a shot and see how she turns out. Won't be a lot of yakking. I'll film some things here and maybe utter little bits of nonsense here and there, but we'll see how she comes out. So stay tuned. First thing we'll do is re-butcher this cow and get us a couple pounds of bite-sized steak pieces here. And like Sean, I got my trusty cleaner upper here in case I would happen to drop something. Okay, time to make the magic happen. Got a little bit of our magic bacon grease. We'll add our little bit of onions here and let them sweat out a little bit. Add a touch of salt to help them. After we get those cooked up a little bit, we'll put in a little bit of minced garlic and some thyme leaves, maybe a little extra onion powder at the end there, and some smoked paprika. And I got a couple cups of beef broth there. And then all we'll have to do is make our biscuits and drop them on the top. I have this special spoon because one of the recipes I did called for a half a spoonful of something, and I couldn't find one, so I made one. Of course, that's not a true story. I did that while washing it by some reason. I thought bamboo wasn't supposed to split, but I guess I was mistaken. Main thing is to throw it in the pan, not on the stove. You're not going to help me with that cleanup, huh? I didn't think so. Don't worry, I got it. Well, the onions are starting to soften a little, so we'll get our meat in there and get it browning. Few precise measurements. I'll bring in back when the meat's all browned up. Okay, we got our meat all browned up, and I forgot to turn the camera back on, but I added a little bit of my beef broth. We got about 2 cups here. I'm going to add a little bit at a time here and get all that stuff scraped off the bottom of the skillet here. And completely optional, but I decided I'm going to add a little bit of frozen mixed vegetables in here, just to give it a little more body and a little color. I never got to color that much when I was a kid, so. The main thing is to make sure you make a complete mess as you're doing this, because once you put it in the oven, you're not going to have the opportunity to make a mess. So, well, not that I couldn't make a mess, but you know what I mean. Now we're going to take a couple of little bits of flour and stir it in a little at a time. I don't know, maybe four teaspoons full eventually, maybe, I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. Now there's several ways to do this. You can mix your flour with a little bit of the beef broth and stuff and stir it real good and get all the lumps out of it before you put it in. Or you can just be like me and throw it in there and stir and stir and stir until you think all the lumps are gone. And since I didn't remember that fact, we're going to use the dump and stir method. If you choose this method, you want to be pretty thorough, because you really don't want a bunch of floury lumps in your gravy. think that'll do it. We'll turn that down and let her simmer for a little bit while we see what we can do about some biscuits. We'll do about 2 cups of flour. And we'll add a pinch of salt. And we got about a little over a cup of buttermilk here. I don't know how much we'll use. We're going to try to make enough to just make a wet dough like. Now some may consider this more of a dumpling than a biscuit. I know you do, but for the sake of this month's challenge, we're going to call them biscuits. I got my oven preheated. Stir up my steak and gravy. Now we're just going to take some spoonfuls of dough. Learned my lesson with cast iron. And pop it in the old firebox for a while until the biscuits look done. And we'll bring you back when that happens. Okay, it's been about half hour or so. Let's take a look and see what she's looking like. Yeah, she's not looking too bad. I think maybe about 5 more minutes or so to brown the biscuits up a little bit more, and we should be good to go. Okay, so here we sit. We're going to give this a try. When I checked them a few minutes ago, the biscuits were looking pretty good, but I thought they needed a little bit more brown, so I dug back through a lot of old videos and stuff, and I found the one. I don't think it's the same one I watched a long time ago, but I did find one recipe that was pretty much similar to this one. The thing I omitted was supposed to be like 13 pounds of butter mixed into the batter for the biscuits. So I don't know how this will turn out. But you know me, I'm not real picky, so it'll get eaten no matter what. If it's got steak on the bottom, it'll get eaten. But let's get a thing out of here and see. Oh, I didn't get a pot holder. I'm not going to burn myself again. The steak looks really tender. Not really as much gravy as I would have liked. It's not bad though. Now for the grand test to see if I chip a tooth on a biscuit, because they're fairly hard here. Doesn't look real bad though. You can see the biscuit itself is pretty good inside. Let's give her a shot. Not bad. The biscuit on top is pretty hard, but that could be due to the lack of butter that I put in it. Let's try some of the steak. Steak's very tender. If I had it to do over again, first off, I'd read the recipe first instead of relying on my memory. Possibly use a little less flour or a little more broth. I didn't really think it would dry up quite as much, but it did. Still not bad though, still edible. So, there you have it. Success or failure. Either way, I'll be fed for the day. So, y'all take care. Be kind to one another. And we'll see you on the next one. Hopefully not quite so far apart.